felt like as he started to talk in the beginning, he had an agenda, like to attack me. And I kept feeling some type of way. And I'm like,
did you feel the tension in the room before he even started talking?
I felt the tension. I did. And then I said, okay, where's this?
Because you're an inferior comedian. I'm going to destroy you, and I'm never going to call you out of your name. I'm never going to say anything disrespectful.
Kevin Hart just threw more gas on the fire, jumping on the Katt Williams hate train and making it clear Katt is no victim. He straight up accused Katt of destroying Wanda Smith's career on purpose, and not just for laughs, but because he was allegedly paid off by the very higher-ups he's always screaming about. Dragging Wanda back into the conversation has ripped open old wounds the internet never really healed from. And now people are demanding Katt publicly apologize to Wanda's family or face another cancellation storm. The pressure is getting ugly, but what's really making Katt sweat is how his past words suddenly came back to haunt him. He went viral not too long ago for doing the unthinkable, apologizing to Michael Jackson's family. That shocking moment cracked the door wide open for critics to ask, if Katt could admit he played a role in tearing down MJ's image for a paycheck, then what about Wanda Smith? See, anyone who's followed Katt over the years knows one of his go-to comedy punches was clowning Michael Jackson every chance he got. It became part of his routine. So when he shocked everyone by stepping up and saying sorry for every jab, every cheap shot, every joke at MJ's expense, fans were floored. In that interview, Katt admitted he regretted mocking Michael Jackson because he finally realized he was being used as a pawn. According to him, the people cutting his checks had a hidden agenda to pit black entertainers against each other, to make sure black men were always tearing each other down without even realizing it. That confession flipped the narrative, and now all eyes are on him. If he could come clean about MJ, why not Wanda too? Katt's jokes about Michael Jackson weren't just comedy. They actually helped push that ugly agenda forward. But what really made his recent interview stand out was the way he said it. No punchlines, no sly grin, just pure regret. That's when people started taking notes, reminding him that he's got a long list of folks he owes apologies to, and sitting right at the top of that list is Wanda Smith. Then came Kevin Hart, ready to pounce. He flipped the whole story upside down and made it sting even worse. Kevin and Katt have been at each other's throats for years, so this wasn't just some random moment. It was the opening Kevin had been waiting on. And instead of sticking to their personal beef, Kevin went for the jugular. He painted Katt as the real villain, the same villain Katt has always accused Kevin of being. Let's not forget, Katt once dragged Kevin during his infamous Club Shay Shay interview, calling him out for tap dancing for a check. Katt accused Kevin of selling out, leaning into ugly stereotypes about black men just for a payday. He even labeled Kevin a gatekeeper in the industry, someone who crushes the careers of comics with real talent and grind, while opening doors for what Katt called inferior comedians, like Tiffany Haddish. The shots fired were brutal, but now Kevin is flipping the script, and it's Katt who's stuck in the hot seat. Everybody's seen Kevin get called a gatekeeper, but when Katt started catching heat after his shocking MJ apology, Kevin flipped the whole script and went in hard. He claimed Katt was actually worse than anything he ever accused Kevin of. Why? Because according to Kevin, Katt wasn't just chasing checks from the higher-ups, he was out here ruining people's lives while pretending to be a victim. Kevin flat out blamed Katt for ending Wanda Smith's career, calling him a coward for hiding behind excuses instead of owning up to the damage he caused. And the second Kevin said it, the internet went wild, digging up one of the ugliest moments in Katt's career, the Wanda Smith interview that changed everything. Watching those old clips, you can literally see in real time how Katt shredded Wanda's career on live radio. The infamous interview went down in 2018 on Frank and Wanda in the Morning. At first, it seemed chill, some laughs, some back and forth, but then Katt couldn't resist. He started firing shots at Tiffany Haddish, and when Wanda tried to defend her, Katt unleashed on both of them.
Tell me some of the things you cook that they are proud of. Like, Dad made some. You got the best spaghetti. You got the best steak. What do you have? Tell us what you cook.
As a father of 7 with an unlimited food budget, you can make whatever is necessary.
I
with
said
7,
what they like.
Excuse me.
I said what do they like?
Just because you're a poor interviewer doesn't mean.
You answer the question and just tell me.
Man, you're a strong black woman. Is it okay for me to answer?
Come on.
You keep interrupting the answer. Everyone can hear it. It sounds like you like me a little bit. It's starting to bleed over the airwaves.
It is.
Oh, really?
I want to let
Come
everybody
on.
know that Wanda got some lipstick on right now with enough glitter for the 4th of July 2020.
That's right.
Wanda knows she
What?
She didn't do as much cooking in the latter years as she did in the beginning.
Whatever. I cook. I do it all.
I didn't say that you
Well,
didn't.
that's right. I did it in the beginning and the middle and the end.
What's your favorite thing to cook? Your boys say, yeah.
They like for me to. I do a really nice broccoli. They like my broccoli and they love my baked chicken.
Hey,
they
right now,
love-
look up your phone and see what it takes to make broccoli, and tell me does it
whatever, hater.
say heat up water?
Shut up.
That's the only step in broccoli. Heat up water.
Whatever.
Simmer.
Have you ever heard of burned broccoli? Can you
whatever,
burn
hater.
broccoli? You
Whatever,
can't burn
hater.
it because it's made in a pot of
You
water.
don't know nothing about.
You know what her second meal they.
That's when things spiraled out of control and Wanda ended up paying the price. Katt didn't just throw shade, he came with venom. He claimed Tiffany was an industry plant who only bagged that Netflix deal without ever putting in the grind of touring. He went even further, saying Tiffany had no original jokes and that the only thing she had going for her was being light-skinned and dating white men. Then he twisted the knife even deeper by saying hardworking, genuinely funny women in comedy were constantly overlooked just so someone like Tiffany, who, in his words, didn't even write her own material, could shine. When Wanda stepped in to defend Tiffany, she instantly became Katt's next target. And that's exactly what Kevin Hart is pointing out now. This wasn't just friendly comedy sparring, it was straight up sabotage. The tension between Katt and Wanda was already bubbling. But Wanda didn't want things to spiral. She tried to smooth it over, cracking a harmless joke about Katt's cooking skills with his kids. But instead of laughing it off, Katt flipped the switch and went savage. He fired back by bringing up her children, clowning her as a terrible interviewer, and even got the whole studio laughing at her expense. Wanda tried to laugh along, but you could see it. She was uncomfortable, embarrassed, and cornered. From there, the roast was on. Wanda clapped back, bringing up Katt's messy legal past and even poking fun at his hair. The energy in that studio shifted instantly. You could cut the tension with scissors. But instead of letting it cool off, Katt doubled down. He came harder, turning every jab Wanda threw right back at her, dragging the moment into something way darker than just radio banter. What should have been a playful back and forth turned into a public humiliation that Wanda never walked away from the same. That interview was never supposed to blow up the way it did. It was planned as a quick 20-minute chat to celebrate Katt's career. But instead, it spiraled into one of V103's most infamous viral moments, and all for the wrong reasons. From that day on, Wanda's reputation was scarred. She was branded as a bad interviewer, labeled mean-spirited, and dragged endlessly online. The damage was so deep that even after her passing, the clip of Katt roasting her was the first thing people remembered. Not her career, not her achievements, just that moment. Twitter threads were brutal, with fans tearing her down in long posts that went viral. Reddit forums lit up with people piling on, writing stuff like, "No one has anything nice to say about her," and "She'll always be remembered for that dragging." Some even dropped disrespectful takes like, "No offense to the dead," but Wanda Smith was a massive problem. Others in local threads chimed in, saying they felt she had it coming because she'd been rude on air or mean off mic for years. Imagine dedicating your life to radio, building a name, and then the world boils it down to the woman Katt Williams roasted. That became her legacy. And here's the part that stung the most. It wasn't just strangers online making it worse. Wanda herself had to step forward and defend her name. She revealed how uncomfortable she felt in that moment, explaining that she never wanted the interview to go down that dark path. According to her, Katt just kept pushing, cornering her until she had no choice but to fire back. What should have been lighthearted banter turned into a takedown she never fully bounced back from, and Kevin Hart is now making sure the world doesn't forget it. In the end, Wanda had no choice but to meet Katt at his level, and that decision came with a heavy price. Her explanation about what went down didn't save her reputation, and soon after she was fired from her spot at V103. But losing her job wasn't the only blow. She was branded, labeled, and dragged nonstop.
But you only got Tiffany Haddish. She been doing comedy since she was 16. You can't tell me your favorite Tiffany Haddish joke. Why? Because she ain't done a tour yet. She ain't done a special. She has not proven the ability to tell jokes back to back for an hour to nobody. And they already ready to down Monique and up somebody who has showed them Girls Trip. Did you think she wrote Girls Trip, goofball?
Right.
Or do you think that was already a script and they handed it to her? Because she want to sleep with a white man. That's why the only thing she said was, I want to give it to Brad Pitt. The only thing before that in the movie with me is I slept with this white man and I got a white baby. She had a white husband for the 14 years she been doing comedy. And then all of a sudden divorced him. Then said he abused her. Then wrote a book. Then said he didn't. And then now we're at...
And then things turned from ugly to downright dangerous in the Atlanta Comedy Theater parking lot. That's the same incident Kevin Hart keeps pointing to as proof that Katt wasn't just freestyling beef. He was allegedly carrying out orders to make sure Wanda's career was finished for good. The official version of the story was that Wanda's husband randomly pulled a gun on Katt during a heated clash, forcing Katt and his crew to beg for their lives. But people quickly noticed the story didn't add up. It looked less like a random outburst and more like a setup designed to paint Wanda's family as unstable villains. Wanda later spoke out saying Katt was the one who sparked the fight, and her husband only stepped in to defend her. She claimed he never even aimed a gun at Katt. He simply picked it up after it fell during the chaos. But by then, the damage was done. When surveillance footage surfaced, it only fueled suspicions that the narrative was being twisted. The video was clipped in a way that made it look like Wanda's husband ambushed Katt, without showing anything that actually happened before. And to make it messier, Katt never even cooperated with police afterward. He vanished from the case completely. The investigation fizzled, leaving Wanda and her husband stuck with the villain label, while Katt walked away untouched. Years later, that stain never fully washed off Wanda's name. Fast forward to 2024, and Katt finally decided to speak on the Wanda situation. But instead of owning up, he dusted off the same old victim card. He claimed the whole interview only went left because of something Wanda supposedly said before the cameras were even rolling. According to him, Wanda promised not to bring up his kids or his prison record, but then turned around and did it anyway. But here's what Katt left out. He was the one who pushed it too far. Wanda tried more than once to steer the conversation back to safer ground, but Katt wouldn't let it go. He kept pressing, and that's when things spiraled into the ugly clash the world remembers. Katt didn't stop there, though. He doubled down by claiming Wanda's husband tried to take his life, dressing it up like he was some kind of comedy martyr under attack. He painted himself as a fearless truth teller who almost lost everything just for doing his job. But if he was really terrified for his life, then why didn't he ever cooperate with police? Why vanish when the investigation needed him most? He even went as far as blaming Wanda for getting fired, saying it happened because she tried to call him gay, a claim that had no receipts to back it up.
Tracing where Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You off promo shoots. You off your promo trips that they had set up for you. He chose.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what? I got to fix me, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to...
If you only listened to Katt's side of the story, you'd think Wanda was the villain all along. But the reality? Wanda's career was already being buried in real time. And Katt was the one holding the shovel. And that is why Kevin Hart is unloading so much smoke on Katt Williams right now. The irony is thick. Katt spent his whole career calling out others for selling out or throwing their peers under the bus. But the second it was convenient, he did the exact same thing to Wanda. Kevin Hart wasn't about to let that slide either. He blasted Katt on Twitter last year, telling him straight up to take the hate out of his heart. And when Kevin sat down with The Breakfast Club, he doubled down without holding anything back. When asked about Katt, Kevin said plain and simple, Katt loves pointing fingers at everyone else, blaming the world for his problems while acting like he's somehow above it all. But the reality? He's not. Kevin painted him as a man who plays the victim but leaves wreckage behind wherever he goes. Now, fans are rewatching that old Wanda Smith interview with fresh eyes, and the backlash is nastier than ever. Reddit threads are exploding with posts tearing into Katt for how he handled the whole thing. One viral comment summed it up perfectly. Katt Williams bullied and picked on Wanda, and because he was a comedian, it was deemed okay. But this wasn't a comedy sketch. She was humiliated, and she alone paid the price. People are calling out the double standard, saying if anyone else had been in Wanda's position, they would have been crushed too. Yet because Katt wore the title of comedian, his cruelty got written off as just another joke. That excuse doesn't fly anymore. And despite the wave of voices demanding Katt finally apologize to Wanda Smith's family, he stayed completely silent. No statements, no posts, nothing but silence, and that's what's making everyone suspicious. If Katt really pocketed money to help bury Wanda's career, then this silence isn't just guilt, it's protection. Protection for the same powerful people who made sure Wanda's name never bounced back, no matter how much she fought. So what do you think? Should Katt finally come clean and apologize to Wanda's family, or has the damage already gone too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive. We'll catch you in the next one.